4, 3, 2, and 1. I guess we are live. Let me check to see because for some reason YouTube and my OBS anyway, cooperative is not really the word I would use to describe it. So I want to make sure everything is hunky-dory as far as that goes. So let's see, are we live? We are live. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, excellent.
Welcome to the Chaos120 group channel, and I am joined by the always excellent, the sometimes articulate. No, just kidding. You're always yours. You're always on point, man. You're always on point.
It's gonna be that kind of interview.
You're always on point, man. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I am joined by Gütenberg. Now, this is a guy that I started following because I used to always see him on Irate Bears streams. He was always jumping on. You used to go by a different name, though, back then. You were, I don't recall what it was.
I was doing a compilation slash. I was pretty much trying to make money on YouTube.
Yeah, you were doing what?
I've always been Gutenberg. To anybody that met me, I always talk. You know, that's who I am online. But I had a channel name that was Wrecked SJW Videos.
Yeah, you see, I would always confuse you with Wrecked Feminist videos. And you're two completely different guys from two completely different parts of the world.
He's a better looking gentleman than myself, to be fair. He's about 10 years younger. But to get into that, okay, good. Continue sucking my dick a little bit. And then
okay. Well, hey, he has to wear. He has to wear sunglasses in order to look as awesome as you do.
Thank you, sir.
Is that enough cup in the balls there? Is that enough cup in the balls?
Yeah, that's a little bit more than enough. A little further towards the anus, about the center of the anus. That's where I need your index finger.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so I have a question. I am curious. How did you get your start on the YouTube machines?
On the interwebs, like most people do. I've always been a fan of YouTube in general, whether learn how to rebuild my basement stairs or trying to see what's going on in the political spectrum. I mean, my generation, our generation, we don't really watch a lot of news, for the most part, I think, by and large. So we go to the internet, and most of the time when you type into the old Googles there, a YouTube video would pop up, and you go down the rabbit hole, as one would, right? And probably around 3 years ago now, I started getting into the that was around early Milo, you know, when all those videos were popular of him going on stage, and all these college women would yell at him, and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, well, what's going on here? This is like a whole new thing I never seen before. Like, who is this gay flamboyant gentleman? Who are these fucking broads yelling at him, right?
Yeah.
What's their message? And then I went down the rabbit hole, and during that time it was the Thunderfoot videos with about Anita Sarkeesian and all that. I think this was just coming off of Gamergate.
Yeah.
Been around the big hype during then, and I never paid attention to that.
Yeah. From a gathering, you and I took similar paths as far as our journeys.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people come to YouTube that way. Honestly, I mean, who kind of stumbles into this? When I say sphere, I mean this tiny corner of YouTube. You know, it's a little bit of a rabbit hole. But I started coming across all these compilation channels, and like that's where I was getting. These were the videos I wanted to see, because like I'd mentioned before. I was like, who are these college people? Why are they flipping out? Why are they yelling at this gay guy? And then Wrecked Feminist Videos was doing these Milo videos. Milo MLG edits and shit. I thought they were the greatest thing in the world.
They are, yeah.
And
I still get a kick out of watching those.
Oh, they're fucking great. And then I was like, you know what? I could do that shit. I'll learn how to video edit. And then I started doing that. And back then, the YouTube money was good.
Yeah, this is before the Wall Street Journal kind of fucked it up for everybody.
Oh, yeah. But I started looking, I'm like, wait, you can make... I mean, I've always knew these YouTubers, they made money, you know. I knew that, but I'd never realized how much money they were making. and I got some video editing program, watched a ton of videos on how to video edit, and just started a fucking channel and started video editing for practice, uploading, figuring out the algorithm, keyword searches, and all that, and I started getting traction.
At this fucking point, I think that PewDiePie owns an aircraft carrier.
Probably owns a small guerrilla army somewhere off the coast of fucking Nicaragua.
There we go.
But yeah, so I was like, I want to make money. I want to learn how to video edit. I like the videos that I'm editing and coming across. So I was like, fuck it. I got into YouTube for money. I'll be point blank. I was like, I want to make money.
There you go. There you go.
But around 500 subs, I started meeting other people. But they were more on the commentary side. I met Irate Bear. We were both about 500 subs. Ranty Monkey as well. I met him about the same time. He's about 500 subs. Sinatra, Miss Misa. I met that little clicky crew from a year or two ago. Not clicky, but you know, they all hung out with each other.
Yeah.
And then I started getting introduced to the bigger YouTubers on this sphere, and I didn't like them for the most part. No, they just seemed fake. At this time, this was Shoe on Head was on top of this side of the community. Like she was looked at like a god. You know, everybody liked her. But this was around. This was when this little niche was starting. So everyone was looking. Okay, everyone was trying to find the person who is kind of, you know, who are the people that are spearheading, as corny as that sounds, this little part of YouTube. I would probably equate it to maybe how when the atheism was big on YouTube, all the atheism videos, it was Thunderfoot. Like that was the guy, and you know, people I would have been subbed to him since 2009, and that's sort of how I got drug into, you know, everything.
Yeah, I was subbed. Thunderfoot was one of the earliest content creators I started following, and I started losing my interest with the guy when he started kind of turning on everybody. I can probably say the same for a lot of content creators that started turning on people. So
right. When I came across him, he was making those. He was in that spat with that guy really super Christian, thought he was Batman guy. Venom Fang X. If you've been subscribed to Thunderfoot for a while, you'll know that name. They had a back and forth video response war on YouTube for like a year.
I mostly watched his anti-Anita Sarkeesian stuff.
The Thunderfoot, the Venom Fang X thing was like 2009, 10.
Yeah, that's a little before that's before my time on YouTube.
He was the guy I first subbed to, and my channel was from like 2009. I think I literally created the current channel I have now, although it's going through name changes. I think I created to actually subscribe to him, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, got in YouTube for money.
Yeah, you're probably not alone in that.
No.
I always left open the possibility of making money doing this, but I never really kind of realistically thought that was gonna pan out for me.
Right.
As it is, I think I only have like $150 that I made during doing these OBS live streams from a generous individual named Cryptic, who's helped fund my GoPro camera thing that I'm going to be using later this summer. Let's see.
I know that name.
Cryptic.
I know that name. I think
he's everywhere.
Super chatted me.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's a generous fella. He's a really cool dude. Yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Cryptic.
Yep, Cryptic is the man. So how did you find your way to the Chaos120 group? I know a lot of people find their way there, and it's usually through one of us. I don't know. So you were just there one day, and it was like, holy shit, Gütenberg's here.
I just showed up. I got lost. Went to the wrong door. I tell you, I don't know. If I meet somebody and I think they're a cool person, I follow them on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't follow a lot of bigger people. I don't like people that are very opinionated.
Yeah.
If that makes, I'm a horrible human being, and you'll come to learn that in the next.
Flexibility is a thing that. Yeah.
In the next 18 minutes, you know, I got a lot of weird shit rolling around in my head. But so I will follow anybody on Twitter. You have 10 followers or a couple thousand followers. If I like you and I talk to you, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
And I'll see links pop up, on my feed or whatnot. And I was like, oh, what's this about?
Well, I am flattered that you like me. So.
I am following you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel, this is this little insight into my psyche here is I'll follow people and then I'll forget about them for like a couple weeks, and then I'll talk to them on stream. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I don't know who you are, but nice to meet you, or whatever the fuck. Normally I'll be a little hammered saying it in not so polite terms, but
Yeah.
and they'll be like, you follow me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, sorry. I just,
I tell you
I
what,
must have the brain capacity of memory of
your memory
1980s
probably
hard
works.
drive.
Yeah, your memory probably works a lot like mine. I'm really great with faces, names not so
Oh,
much.
me too. No, especially when people change their avatars on
No,
stream and stuff.
yeah.
It fucks me up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, avatar guy or whatever the fuck is in the avatar. I got hammered on stream and joined. I don't even know what fucking stream it was. And if I don't know you, I'll just pick out a characteristic about you, and then that's your name for the rest of the fucking stream.
Yeah.
And I always feel kind of bad about the next day, or when I run into him again.
Yeah, if
And
he's
like,
got
you're calling me overweight trucker guy. There you go. That's how you came off to me, and that's how I remember you from now on.
There you go. There you go.
I'm fucking horrible. But yeah.
So, you said you got your start doing doing compilation videos and
Yeah, that's to speak on that real quick. What a lot of the commentary, I cheated. I had the game genie per se, because compilation channels are simple.
mhm.
However, I would add edits into them. I wouldn't just string a whole bunch of videos together. I would chop them up, edit them up, throw in context of whatever. So it wasn't strictly re-uploads.
Right.
But that is a cheat. I mean, it is a cheat. It's not like someone trying to get their voice out there or their opinion or their thoughts on a certain topic. That's
Right.
a lot harder for people, like the commentary side. Those
That
guys
was
have
really
to
hard for me.
struggle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Like
haven't
the
done.
shit,
Yeah. I haven't done a video, or an original video, in like 5 or 6 months. I want to start doing some more stuff, but
Mhm.
it's like you said, it's hard.
It is hard. I cheated. I cheated my way to be fair, I cheated my way to about 10,000 subs. Okay, I hit 10,000 subs within. Bearing did a response to one of the videos that I actually recorded and gave me a shout out, and that got me like 5,000 subs.
Wow.
I think that pushed me from like 5,000 to 10,000.
Right.
At that point, I was making, not this. I'll suck my own dick here. I was making quite a bit of money. I was like, you know what? This was 3 months before the inauguration of our current president, Donald J. Trump. So I was like, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna take a GoPro. I'm gonna, get some gear, get some riot gear, because at this point, all the protests were starting to kick off, and I was like, all right. So went down, started recording, and then I dropped the video editing or the compilations, and I just started recording protests.
There you
So
go.
I did switch, but it's still kind of cheating because people want to see those videos. And
True. Well, we evolve the way we do. That's I know that's how I started out as a normie channel. I didn't get controversial until I was doing this over a year.
Right. But a good thing about what I do is I don't have to engage my viewership and my audience. I have, to me, or to them, I'm just a random video channel on a website they like.
Hmm.
I don't really give out my opinions. I live stream. Sometimes I talk on the live stream, but I've never, uploaded a video of me talking into a microphone. So I don't have a connection with my viewership or my subscriber base. So that's a little different. I don't have to deal with,
Yeah.
the constant scrutiny of my opinion.
Well,
My video
everybody's
speaks for itself.
yeah, everybody's got their own thing, and whatever works for you works for you, and that's
I
you know,
like it that way.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with, the shit comments. Oh, I hated this video. God's honest truth here. I've not read any. I haven't read comments in 7 months. Every once in a while, back before when I'd upload a video, I'd read the first 10, 12. I don't go back and check. I don't care what you have to say. My
About the
video, my
only
video.
Yeah, about the only negative comment I've ever gotten wasn't even on my own video. It was on one of Weibo's videos. Some MMA wannabe called me a douche.
That's fucking. That's the man. See, I'm not. When I say I'm not a real internet person, I'm not. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to have a debate with you. I don't care about your opinion. If we're talking and passing on a live stream, and I just so happen to be on with you, I'll talk with you. But I don't care about the going back and forth in the 500 character fucking essay online. I
Right.
don't care.
You
I don't
you
care.
you're there for the banter. You're there for the conversation. You're there to
I'm there
have
for the
fun, hang out, and stuff like that.
absolutely. And I'm here as myself when I join live streams. I'm not here for my channel.
Right.
You know, when I come on streams and people ask me if I have anything to show, I'm like, no, I'm here for just my voice here, because I don't voice my opinion on my channel. So I never bring my channel. I never talk about my channel unless I have to bring some sort of context up.
Right.
I join streams all the time. And they're like, well, what's your YouTube channel? I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I'm here for my voice at this point. You'll never find a live stream I'm on where I show anything.
Right.
I don't talk about my channel. I don't chill it. And sometimes I may like if you like hearing a douchebag yell into the microphone half hammered, follow me on Twitter, I guess. You know,
There you go.
if
There
you
you
want,
go.
if you're into that sort of thing of fucking somebody yelling at other people, I mean, I guess sure,
Right.
follow me. Don't worry about my YouTube channel because I don't do that on there. So don't even bother, searching for it. It doesn't matter.
I'm here for a lot of reasons, and meeting new people and hearing their interesting stories. That's a big perk.
Right, right. I don't know. I find a lot of people I seem to meet, more or less in streams or in passing by other people that I've come across in streams and whatnot. I don't like a lot of these people. I don't like them.
Well, you can't like everybody that you run
A lot of-
across,
Right,
but
I
it's
have
cool
a
when you find all the diamonds in the rough. And
Yes, yeah. I'd say about 1 out of 15 people I end up, really liking. And there's the smaller communities like you Chaos guys. I'd join your stream over, a stream with 2,000-3,000 people watching. I don't really like those larger echelon channels. I like the smaller, more intimate communities. The Minions of the Zoo is another one.
Yeah.
Those people are awesome. I like them.
so you're saying you'd take Chaos 120 over Beauty and the Beast, or Beauty and the Beta?
I don't know.
That's
That's
a-
that Mac Christensen
Yeah.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he knows what he's talking about. I've never really watched it stuff.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I would like him on Chaos one night. That's it'd be tough to swing though, of course, but that'd be fun. He's just one of the bigger content creators that I still kind of have respect for.
Mm. He's I think I watched a few of his videos before he was on live streams, maybe like a year ago. I believe someone tweeted out one of his videos.
Mhm.
And, one probably about a year ago. I can't recall the subject, but I was like, oh, this guy's very well spoken, got some good points. I think I'm subbed to him.
Yeah, he does his research. He doesn't get into the whole opinion kind of thing. He does.
Yeah. He seems very well researched. So I'll give him that.
Yeah. So where you kind of briefly touched upon this kind of thing. What do you want to do with your channel, like over say the next 6 months to a year? Is there really anything that you actually want to do with it apart from what you've already done, or do you have anything that you would like to do that you haven't already done?
Yeah. Well, I had a plan. I haven't uploaded a video in 7 months. Basically, when the demonetization happened, it's for the downside of not being a commentary channel is that I have to travel to do what I do, and that costs money.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the time everyone started getting hit was that Boston free speech thing fresh out of the Charlottesville incident, and I had gone up, and there was this free speech rally, but it had nothing to do with Charlottesville. But there was that super high tension in the air
Mm-hmm.
of a free speech rally, if you can remember that. And it was a week after Charlottesville, so I was like, this could be a thing. So I traveled up to Boston. And at that time, I was at my apartment, or our family. My family has a house in Philadelphia as well. Right now, I live in North Central Pennsylvania. I was in Philadelphia, so I, got some gear, figured out the budget for a trip, went up, stayed for a whole weekend to see Boston, because I haven't been there for a while. Recorded everything I recorded, came home, edited, realized I spent about $1,000 on the trip.
Yeah.
Right when I got home and started editing, I started getting the yellow fucking monetization
Yeah.
thing of death. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck. I spent a G bar on this trip, and I started editing things up, and then I realized I was in the negative for my expenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at
It
that
put you in
point,
the
I
red.
stopped. It put me in the red. I wasn't making money. I was spending money at this point.
True. True.
So,
Yeah.
future endeavors, I would have to say, I wanted to go down to Colombia and interview. I've heard it's very easy for Americans, small journalists, people that want to do op-ed posts, to go down there and talk to the police who are
Mhm.
engaged in this far-left guerrilla war with a lot of rebels, like in the countryside. And I wanted to go down and try to do something like that, kind of Tim Pool-esque 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How he'd go down there and do all that kind of stuff, and figured out the budget for a trip, and it was about $2,500 to stay for a good couple of weeks. And I wanted to launch something like that, but I don't know if I could justify spending the money if there's no promise of at least a recouping of what I spent.
True. True.
So that is something I wanted to do. I wanted to go down there and kind of document the guerrilla Marxist war that they're currently waging on the current government organizations down there.
Well, that sounds like an awesome project, and certainly that would take a hell of a lot of planning to make it the most cost effective that you can possibly do.
Absolutely. And I don't have a Patreon. I never want. I have no problem with other people doing it as long as they're forthright in why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying, "Hey, pay my bills. Here's my Patreon," I got no problem with that. But when you mask it in a certain way, it comes off as cheesy and just a money grab. So,
Yeah.
for me personally, I never wanted to start a Patreon or ask for money or even doing live streamings. I was at an event in Philadelphia and I had live chats or super chats enabled, and I ended up getting about 1,200 people watching one of the live streams of the protest out there. It was a resist fascism protest. Pretty big in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting a few $100 super chats. I was like, oh, well, there's that.
Yeah.
But I never had the mindset of, okay, I need to go out and do more to get this money coming.
True.
So that's probably the only second time I ever live streamed protests. Because when you go to a lot of these areas, sometimes it's really congested with a lot of other people using their phones, sucking up bandwidth and data.
Yeah.
That the quality, it'll stream through YouTube, it'll be like 320p. It'll be like such a low setting, it's not even worth watching.
Yeah.
So,
I recall some pretty nasty feeds from, I believe it was the VidCon last year.
Yeah.
Some pretty rough feeds there.
Absolutely.
I was wondering.
Can you give me 1 second? I have someone's at my door.
Okay.
This is not good radio right now, but I have to go answer this.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Alrighty. So we have Director Arciter in the chat here, and I've been bantering with him about. So it goes back to what Gutenberg was saying about the taking a trait from somebody's avatar and then and then calling that for the rest of the broadcast. Let's see. Director says, I would of course be considered dignified fellow with tasteful eyewear guy. And then I said, Director Nye, the science-y guy. And then he said, that hurts. Damn.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love when people online can throw the bants. being where I'm from, the East Coast thing, I'd bring this up in stream, but I try to explain to some of these people that I meet that happen to be from like the Midwest, you know, Texas or maybe Florida, even the Pacific Northwest, California, that the East Coast is a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
How men talk, blue collar men. I'm not talking about the kind of uppy liberal New York Times writer from the East Coast, but there's a certain level of hazing that has to happen when two blue collar East Coast dudes get together.
Yeah.
We have to fuck. We have to fuck with each other.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a testing the fence. You gotta know where the other guy's limits are.
Absolutely. And if he's able to tear you down, there's a mutual respect in that, and then you
Yeah.
can move forward in your bonding as humans.
So
it's
director and
fucked
me,
up.
we're bonding right now. We're bonding.
It's so fucked up, but it's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And I love it. And when I meet other East Coast guys like Scooby, he understands. And there's another guy, Tom P. I really don't know him too well, but he's
Oh, Tom
from
Pinoy. Yeah,
Harrisburg. Yeah,
he's a good dude.
He's all right, but he can throw the bands East Coast style too.
Yeah.
And I just love when I run into those guys.
Say, I wanted to just going back to what we were talking about before. Have you heard of the mother of all rallies?
The more,
Yeah.
yeah, I was supposed to go. I was going to go down to the one last year, but I never ended up going. And there was like a ICP concert, like
Oh yeah.
next door.
Yeah. You
I
can
never
check
ended up
out.
going.
You can check out my. I don't know if it's on Scooby's thing. I think it's on a guy named Diogenes of Sinope. He has all the footage from. They went to the Moor. That's actually how I met those guys because I wanted to interview them about their experiences at Moor, and that's how we got Scooby and Burnside on the Chaos 120 group. It's a kind of a weird story.
Oh,
But,
wow, nice. So you met people in IRL and then brought them into the YouTubes, or were they already on the YouTubes?
They were already on the YouTubes. I just I saw them banting. What's the banting about? I can't remember the terminology, but kicking around the idea of going to more. And I was watching them talk on Discord as well as Minds.com. Just a group of people that I had been following, and so I jumped into their Discord conversation. And, I invited the guys to talk about their experiences at the Mother of All Rallies last year, and that's how I ended up meeting Scooby and Burnside and Diogenes and Greater Ajax, and that's how they got hooked up to Chaos 120. So that's how that
Nice.
So I
I
want
heard there was a low turnout though. I heard not as many showed up as people were expecting, but I heard it was a
right,
good
yeah.
crowd.
So you'll
I'm
have
looking
to
forward.
actually talk to Scooby more about that because I wasn't actually at the event. I just saw some video footage of it. But
I think
before we
him and I
go,
talk-
go ahead.
Yeah, let's go a little longer. I like this one
Okay.
on one because normally I gotta yell
All right,
I like my
we can expand this. It's normally a 30-minute
Yeah.
format, but we can go 40. Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Let's go 40. Let's go 40. I got a little high today. I was late. I fell asleep. My brother-in-law got me super fucking stoned, and I missed the call-in time. I gotta
No problem, no
apologize.
problem.
And
Messiah Keck
Yeah,
was late to his interview as well, so don't worry about that.
I was to make you feel any better. To appease maybe whoever may be catching this later than expected. I was late for irate prostates yesterday too. I had one of my buddies come into town.
Yeah, he
We were
said
out
you were pretty
in the-
ripped last night.
Oh, I got annihilated. One of my buddies came into town and he was out with his family. He's like, "Yo, dude, we're going here. Come out." And my family, and I grew up with his family, and just seeing, his mother and father, brothers and sisters. Went to elementary school. I used to eat at the house all the time.
Hmm.
So I couldn't just leave, and ended up dancing with his mother. They had like a bluegrass band playing.
There you
Vibing,
go.
feeling good.
Yeah.
And we ended up buying quite a bit of alcohol. So I came home And yeah, I was yelling at people on stream, doing my normal shit, and
There you go.
people. I've been asked if I ever regret that when I wake up in this. I'm like, no, I laugh at myself. I think it's funny.
There you go.
You know,
Hey,
I don't care. I love yelling at people.
hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you got no business laughing at all.
Absolutely. Don't take yourself so seriously. Plus, it's the internet. Who cares?
Right. So I want to ask you really quickly. The freaking Philadelphia Phillies are at the top of their division right now. Last year, could you have ever envisioned something like that?
This is where I may disappoint. I don't follow sports.
Oh, you don't. You don't. Okay. Well,
No, I don't.
I don't often talk to anybody from the Philadelphia area, so it's like, so I don't really have anybody to talk baseball with. It's like,
Unfortunately, baseball, albeit our national pastime, it's dying out. Unfortunately, you know, I love the nostalgia of the 1920s, 30s, 40s.
Right.
You know,
well, the thing about that
Babe Ruth.
is that
Yeah.
we're
So
we're
American.
turning into a television and internet based viewership demographic, whereas something like baseball, that's if you really want to experience baseball, you go to the park, you buy yourself some beer, you buy yourself some hot dogs, you buy yourself a bag of popcorn. That's what you do. You experience and you talk to people around you about the game going on or whatever the fuck.
Right.
It's a lot in a lot of ways. It's kind of like the experience of a live stream.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the main problem baseball is facing is that there's too many games.
True.
There's too much to keep up with. You know, how many do they play? They play sets of 7.
They could shorten the season
7, 10?
by about a third
Mhm.
and still
Yeah,
still produce a competitive product that people can watch and produce enough that's the thing that I think football has pretty much down pat, that
absolutely.
they get you in the mood because they only play.
You always want more. You always
Right,
want more in
right.
football.
Whereas
Baseball's
baseball,
too much.
yeah, baseball is like a buffet, and football is more like you're ordering a pizza. You got the anticipation that damn pizza is coming. You're going to be so happy to see that friggin' pizza guy that you want to give him a big tip and friggin' fist.
Baseball, baseball is like going into a quiet riot. Not to pardon the pun, but you're like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? How many games are on? I'm like, wait, they're playing 7. Where are they at? Where are they at? Football is like watching an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, when it's over, you want more. You're like, oh, I need more. You know, you gotta wait till Monday. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Versus baseball, it's on all the fucking time. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it.
People just don't know how to experience baseball. Baseball is something like it's a connoisseur sort of thing. It's like being an absinthe fan. That there's a methodology behind all the stuff that you do with friggin' absinthe, and it's people treat it like right. People treat it like it's shit. It's like going to Krispy Kreme and getting a dozen donuts. No. That's not how you experience baseball. You take a friend to see the game with you, and you bullshit for an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long the game actually lasts, and you if you choose to, you can get hammered there at the stadium, depending on how flexible the security are, and stuff down as many hot dogs as you can possibly get into your system, and that is the experience, and
enjoy those $7 beers.
There you go.
These fucking crooks. And
Burn
you
a
find
hole
out
in your
all
pocket.
over.
Yeah, there you go.
This is such fucking cheapskates. But yeah, unfortunately, I just sports has never been my thing. Now, however, when playoffs are coming for football, I'll pay attention to that.
There you go.
But leading
There
up to
you go.
that, I don't care. I might catch a World Series game or ask somebody about it. Other than that, I can't. I watch I like when the best of the best get together, and they're gonna have it out. That's what I want to see. I don't
Yeah.
need to see the prelims.
Right.
You know? that's where I stand on the sports.
Yeah, aside from baseball and hockey, I don't really follow the NFL as much as I used to, and I certainly don't follow the NBA as much as I used to. I still, still back the Texans and the Rockets, but I'm not with them all during the season. I'm not one of those kind of guys. When it picks up near the playoffs time, that's when I start really paying attention.
Right. I mean, I anger a lot of people in my hometown of Philadelphia because Philadelphia fans are the worst. They're the worst.
This is what I hear.
Like,
Flyer fans are just abysmal.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I watched them boo a kid with cancer.
Oh man.
I fucking. They're another animal, but I have to tell people like when people around here, the thing is like when football's on, people ask you, "What's your team? What's your team?" And being where I'm at now in North Central Pennsylvania, we're split. We have tons of Steelers fans, but we have tons of Eagles fans, and then they fight it out. And then you get the stragglers that like the Raiders or the Cowboys or
Yeah.
whoever. And I don't have one favorite team, so I always tell people it's like I like the Patriots. I like watching the Patriots play. I mean, because they're Belichick and Brady are amazing in what they can pull off, especially
Mhm.
under pressure. But I've always liked the Green Bay Packers, going back to Brett Favre and all that. So I always tell people I like Green Bay and the Patriots. You look at me like I just fucking landed off a spaceship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like the Patriots. I like people that can execute stuff under pressure so perfectly. It's beautiful. I like that stuff.
I grew up supporting the
Thanks.
Houston Oilers in a
Oh,
state
boy.
that is Dallas Cowboys to the freaking nines.
Right, right. So you get a little bit of what I'm saying
Yeah. So
here. I've got sometimes they look at you like they want to fight you. I'm like,
Yeah.
talk about football. Calm down. Bring it down a peg.
I get the side
Sports is-
glances from people walking around with my Oilers shirt when I was a kid, and then all these other guys and their Troy Aikman jerseys. It's like, ugh.
Dude, I was going to Sheets the other fucking day, and I saw a guy with a San Francisco 49ers starters jacket. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Do you remember when starter jackets came out?
Mm-hmm. I have a San Jose Sharks starter jacket.
Dude, everybody had those back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
they were expensive. They were like $150 in like mid '90s money.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they're fucking. Oh man,
I
saw
still
that.
have-
And it just took me back.
I still have that bad boy hanging up in my closet.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
They
I'm
were
a-
so cheaply made too.
I know, and I'll probably wear it on stream one night. I don't even
Oh,
follow
boy.
the Sharks anymore.
Starter jackets. What a,
Oh.
what a full circle to bring it back to that.
Yeah.
I love seeing that stuff that I kind of came up with. I love seeing when I see people wearing it, or the nostalgia of it. It takes you back to another place, kind of like smelling something that makes you feel like home. Like I don't know, like when you go to your grandparents for Thanksgiving dinner, and you're like 7, and that
Yeah.
certain smell when you walk into the home.
Cinnamon
It
rolls.
could be, yeah, or like just the smell of the house. 20. You always remember the smells because I believe it's highly associated with feelings.
Yeah.
So I've read. People way smarter than me have figured this out.
Yeah.
And you could be 20, 30 years into your life and get that smell again. It takes you right back to Thanksgiving dinner with your grandparents.
Right.
When that stuff happens, it's kind of magical in a way.
Yeah. Yellow mustard
I
on a
love
stadium
that.
dog.
Yeah, yeah. Those certain smells do get you every time.
The bag of
The
popcorn.
smell,
Yeah.
the smell of a perfume of a broad used to date in high school.
There you go.
Like I
There you
remember,
go.
Victoria's Secret's a popular perfume back in the dating world. And caught a smell of that about a year ago. Very same perfume at a bar, and I smelled it. And I tried to find the girl that was wearing it, but I couldn't. And I was like, holy fuck! It's like a time warp. It's almost a time machine of feelings. crazy.
There is a dark side, however. The fucking Axe body spray reminds me of every annoying little middle schooler piece of shit you see in public.
Yeah, yeah. Cologne is taking a hit. I really don't ever smell it when I go out anymore. You know, people don't wear it anymore like they
Right.
used to. But the Axe body spray, those are like fucking dirt balls trying to cover up the back of the bath. They think they can aerosol.
Yeah.
They think they can aerosol spray their fucking dirt off their fucking body.
Yeah, these
People
little
like that,
shits
like,
probably
take a
smell
shower.
like gym socks otherwise.
Yeah, dude. Fucking yeah. Axe body spray is probably one of the worst human inventions ever.
Yeah, it's the thing for if you're not douchey enough, you can smell a lot more douchey just by spraying this shit on yourself. It's yeah.
Oh, the douche level goes up to a factor
Oh, yeah.
of 10 easily.
Yeah, you instantly become like pop collar douche.
Do you think it was the commercials that did that?
I think so.
To be fair, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell horrible.
I just
think it got that
right.
it got that douchebag of airness because of the commercials of the dude in the aisle that sprays it, and all these chicks jump over the produce section,
True.
dive onto them.
There you go. Yeah.
They got a bad rap. They got a bad rap.
It's just advertised to the wrong demographic and the wrong way.
Do you remember when back in the day that spray on deodorant? Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of animals would wear spray on deodorant?
Admittedly, for a while there, I used this because I was lazy. I
What
was
do you
late.
mean, dude? You pick up a stick of deodorant and rub it up and down once, and you're done.
That's just
It takes long.
that's just the
It takes
warped
longer to
way
take the
I
cap
looked
off.
at the world, man.
It takes longer to take the cap off and find the direct nozzle direction.
You're speaking about
It does.
you're speaking about logic and reason to a guy who's at that particular time in his life. The logic and reason was not my best friend. We didn't see eye to eye. When I looked in the mirror, my mirror image just kind of looked away and rolled his eyes. It's like I don't even know you, dude.
And shame.
Yeah.
When you look at the mirror and you're like disgusted with yourself.
Yeah, your own mirror
Yeah,
image
yeah.
shuns you.
Here I am at 25, using aerosol body deodorant.
I'm not currently holding up my middle finger to myself. Why is my mirror image doing that?
I hate my life right now so much that I'm gonna purchase aerosol deodorant.
Oh gosh, that's a pretty damn. That's when you know you've hit a low, a low point.
I gotta ask you, how old were you? What was your last aerosol deodorant purchase?
I am 41 now, and I think my last aerosol purchase when I was maybe about 16 or 17.
Okay, late 90s. Everyone was confused. Okay.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it. We get it. The metal bands were, the Guns N' Roses were losing out to grunge
Yeah.
rock. Okay.
I was.
It's a weird time in American history.
Yeah, I've brought this up in a lot of streams, but I was before we even had a name for SJW. I guess you would consider a proto SJW back in the 90s. Not a time I'm very proud of. I had a lot of very wrong ideas about a lot of things back then.
Really? Proto SJW. I think you need to expand on that a little bit because I'm a little confused.
Okay, it's suddenly become an interview of me. Okay, okay, let's just
Flipping it around.
yeah, you flipped the script on me. Okay, just briefly here for the next couple of minutes here, I'll explain. I'll expand on it. Back in my teens, I was a soy boy before there was the terminology of soy boy. I was very low testosterone, highly envious of my peers. I was very scared of my peers. So I became very authoritarian. I became very controlling. I became somebody that I would probably be. I jokingly say this all the time. People if I had stayed the same, people would be saying blocked by 6 instead of blocked by Shives. Um, I was I was a contemptible little pissant for a long time, and um, thankfully, I can't really point to one thing that got me on the side of a
Maturity.
yeah. Uh, it was a series of things that happened over a course of uh, 10 or 15 years that brought me out of that state, and it was a long, hard road to get back
If
from
I,
that.
right, if I can expand on that for a little bit, I mean, we go through phases in life. We go through the weird, awkward puberty stage that usually lasts to like the kind of early 20s, and then around the early 20s, if you're not where you want to be in life, or you're envious, such as you said, you tend to take on a personality of envy and
Hmm.
jealousy, and that can be very, very self-destructive. But I think a lot of that is a phase because you're doubting yourself and your life at that point. You're not sure of the world. You're not sure of yourself. So when you see other people with that sort of air of confidence and determination that they have in whatever they may be doing, where sometimes life ain't fair. Sometimes people are born with $1 million. Some people are born poor, and sometimes in that phase, um, you start to be like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not succeeding, or why am I not heading towards these type of goals where I want to see myself in my later years? And then around 30, mid 30s, early 30s, you start to realize, like, okay, shit isn't fair. Some have to work harder than others.
Yeah, it's
Everyone's not going to hand you shit. And to be honest,
equality is not
people,
equity.
exactly. No one cares about you but you. You have to care about yourself, or you're going to be a jealous,
Right.
envious piece of shit. But when I see, to go on a little bit further, I never attacked these younger kids. Someone that comes to mind is that Milo Stewart girl.
Hmm.
She's 19. She got a lot of flack for those videos she did in the bedroom when she was 17, 18. But she went on to college, and I didn't like how people were attacking her because you can see she's just going through a phase. It's a weird part in your life where sometimes when you try to put it out on camera or push your opinion out in the world, when you get that kind of pushback, once you think you have the world all figured out, and then there's this negative force telling you, no, you're fucking stupid, you're fucking wrong, you're dumb, you're a loser, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
That's a hell of a fucking shock.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
they're gonna figure that they're gonna figure that out on their own. That's why I never liked when they're attacking like teenagers, because everyone's dumb
Right.
when they're a teenager. I never
Yeah.
liked that.
There was
So I never tried to. Mhm.
that the atheist gamer notoriously went after some like 14-year-old kid, and Bering had to call him out on it, and did,
Right.
um, which was a good thing. One of the things that has made me respect Bering so much is that he understands where the lines should be drawn, while
Right.
others cross that, and
100%.
and those who do cross that line, they lose my respect instantly.
Right. During that time, I believe I was aware of that situation, and I did catch that Bearing video. Everyone was running out of content for commentary. Everyone was searching for the new crazy feminist that popped online. And the newest argument from said YouTuber with under 500 subs to do a video on because the content was drying up. Everything was going away. Everyone was making videos about the same subject.
Hmm.
Not to defend that guy. I mean, you should. I don't know how old he is. You should have the wherewithal to know you don't come down hard on a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
Look,
I
if you want
think.
to make a video and
Yeah,
address
Tag
the point
was
she said,
yeah. This guy, Atheist, I think he's atheist gamer. I think he's in his 30s, at least his
oh,
late 20s. So he's
did he
old
go
enough to know better.
hard at her? Or
He went
just
pretty damn hard at her. Hard enough to get the attention of Bering and his fan base.
right? Yeah, the kids. You wouldn't do that out on the streets. You wouldn't go up to a 14-year-old person and just shout them down. You wouldn't even talk to a 14-year-old person if you're like a 30-year-old. Like, there'd be no context for you to actually engage that person, you know.
True.
And to make a video like that, like coming down on Hollywood, that's just unwarranted.
Right.
Addressing the points in the video, that's fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's fine in the moral standard of our culture.
True. And no
Yeah,
matter
it's a
how,
shame thing, but
yeah, no matter how much I dislike Axe body spray, I'm not going to walk into some middle schooler and start cursing him out for wearing it.
ah, that loop around, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wants to
Yeah.
smell like a douchebag, I'll leave him right to it.
To be
I'm not
fair,
gonna.
I don't think I could pick out. I could pick out Axe body spray over cologne. I
I've got a really good sense of smell, so it's like, yeah, I know when I'm around middle schoolers, and it just like repulses me.
Absolutely. We could push this to the top of the hour. I think.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I never.
You'll be my first hour-long interview.
The word interview always bothered me.
It does.
I like the phrase conversation.
There we go. There we go. Discourse, discussion.
I want to have a conversation with this person. I never liked the phrase as an interview because it seems too direct, as if
It sounds too close to
bombard.
interrogation.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I'm being verbally waterboarded over here. Like it's like there's so much expectation involved in an interview. Where like, oh my god, my answer's going to be correct. Did I get no? Well, did I answer that correctly, or am I missing something? Like, am I
Right.
saying something that could be contradicted by myself? Like,
Yeah, you're not applying
I
for
like
a
it.
job.
No, but I always like the phrase conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's
There
just-
you go. There you go.
I always like that. But no hard feelings for you. For your interview. Yeah, you let me use. I like your format. I gotta go back and what number of guests am I? Who else have you have on?
Let's see. I started off with Terra Sin, then I went to Irving Twin, and I think I had Sir Wolfie, Cass Warfox, the bartender, and Messiah of Keck. So you're number 7. You're lucky number 7.
Wow. Lucky number 7. I like it. Yeah. Everybody should go back if you catch this later on in time. If you're a time traveler, go back and check those other people out if you happen to know them or get to know them.
Yeah.
Just who they are.
Yeah, they were all good interviews.
Good. Who are you looking forward to having on? Who would you like
Let's
to get
see.
on?
I would
Who is your top notch?
let's see. I would like to get Drunken Uncle on here once.
I'm sure that would be hard to get him on.
Yes, yeah, he works during the time that I would normally do this, so it would have to be kind of a weird time, and trying to get my work schedule and his work schedule to sync up where we're like perfectly aligned. That's going to be kind of tricky.
Yeah, they're that time difference.
Mhm.
They're 5-hour time difference. So if you're in Central, that's 6 hours. So yeah, that is a hard time to sync up with somebody.
Yeah.
What about Irate Bear? You know him. Right?
I tried to do that. We've run into the same problem there, and it's the time difference makes things a little
Yeah,
tricky.
he doesn't work. He doesn't work. He's home all day. He got time.
Okay.
Shoot him a message. I'm sure he'll do it. I'll fucking send him.
Okay.
Go talk to my guy 6. Don't be a fucking bitch.
Well, if
Yeah.
if he's got nothing to do Tuesday morning, so I'll be off. So if he's
Send him a message. Send him a message and tell him that I told you that he should do this.
okay,
He'll respond. He'll respond to this.
okay. And I want to get I want to interview Bloodwing. That's another guy that
shouldn't be too hard.
and let's see. I think Minding Freedom. He's kind of jumped onto the Twitch train, so that's going to be a little tougher to get him. I think Sundays is the day that he's most available. So I have to wait for a time when I'm actually off on a Sunday to actually talk to him.
Who is this again?
Minding Freedom, the German guy with the badger avatar.
Oh, German guy. He's German with accent.
Yeah.
He fucking drove me nuts when I was on the stream with him. I'm like, why don't you sound German and why aren't you yelling into the microphone?
True. He's very soft spoken and he doesn't have much of an accent, which is
Not at all.
interesting. And he's also a Green Bay Packers fan, so you guys should have
Like, yeah, that's what. Oh my God, what stream was I on? It might have been Chaos. He's like, "Oh, I'm German." I'm like, "You don't. You sound like you're fucking from the Midwest."
He does kind of, yeah.
But yeah, he said he likes football. I'm like, "You're not in German. Quit fucking lying to me. You sound like a regular fucking dude. Fucking lower Minnesota. Get the fuck out of here."
Let's see
Yeah, he
who
seemed
else.
like a cool guy. I'd be a good guest. Yeah.
T-Tac would probably be another guy I'd want to interview.
He's a cool guy. It'd be hard to get him on.
Yeah, I'm making this kind of a thing where I do X number of interviews every month, and it's I enjoy this. I really like just talking one on one with somebody.
But you got
This,
a good voice for it.
oh, thank you.
More than welcome. I really enjoyed this time.
Oh yeah,
Really, it was a nice conversation. 'Cause as I alluded to earlier, I mean, when I hop on streams, it's fucking chaos. No, pardon the pun.
yeah,
It's 8 people trying to get their opinion in, and when you want to get those taglines, like I'm all about the taglines, the
yeah,
timing. You know, when someone steps over a perfectly thought out fucking joke, someone steps over, you're like, fuck, can't
yeah.
repeat myself now. It's like
Make
it
a
goes off
comment
into
about that.
ether.
Yeah, make a
It goes
comment
off
about
into
their
the void.
sandwich in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah, like because my mind works in that way where it's quick insults,
mm-hmm.
quick off the bat insults, and when someone steps over something I know that's gonna be funny as fuck, oh, I get aggravated. I get mad and I start
Yeah,
yelling. Fucking shut up.
yeah.
But I think
Haven't
three or four people I think is a good stream
yeah.
population.
We usually that's usually what we have nightly on Chaos. It tends to be that Weibo's streams and Scooby's streams tend to have the highest population as far as guests go. It's not always
Yeah,
that, of course, but it is frequently that we tend to attract the most number of guests on those nights. Midweek, we may have one, maybe two extra guests aside from our regular lineup of hosts and
yeah.
quote unquote
If you're going
regulars.
for if you're going for the interviews though, or the interviews, if you're going for the views though, I mean, people don't want to watch a stream with 8 people because you can't get anything out.
True.
I mean, people's opinions get stepped on real quick or what they're trying to say. That's why, there's not a popular stream with 8 people. There isn't one.
Right.
There's not one with 6. A lot of times there's not one with people. Well, I think 4 is a good number. I think 3 is perfect, and then bring in people and rotate them.
We average
I
about
think,
4 to 5 people on
yeah,
our streams.
that's not bad. That's not bad. That's a good number. We're at the top of the hour right now, 6.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I want to thank everybody, not only that are watching the stream right now, which is kind of few to bit, admittedly, but for anybody that's watching this stream in the future, thank you very much for clicking on this and certainly having an interest in what Gutenberg has to say. And certainly, I want to thank you very much, Gutenberg, for being my guest today. And I certainly look forward to listening to this conversation again in the future myself. Yeah,
You're a go back and listen there. Yeah, you.
I do. I'm one of those because I like hearing the same stories over and over again. I'm repetition is kind of my thing.
That's
But
not bad practice. It's like a comedian going back and listening to their material. You can improve. I get
yeah.
that. I don't. I never listen to anything I've done. I don't.
Well,
I just don't.
I don't listen. Admittedly, I don't listen as much of my stuff as I used to because there's just way too much of it anymore because I do so much of the streams. Anyhow, I want to thank you for being my guest, and certainly I thank everybody that has stopped by to listen, and everybody that will listen in the future. Relevant links to Gutenberg's particulars in the description. And thank you for joining us again for another installment of Chaos 120 interviews on the Chaos 120 group channel. I don't know who my next guest is, but I assuredly it's going to be an interesting time, and just as this one was. So thank you, take care, and everybody continue to have a great weekend.
Assalamu alaikum.
Take